Hello everyone, I'm Burcu Ayan, an international officer at the IUF Secretariat responsible for beverages and brewery sectors, which include the IUF's work and activities focused on the Coca-Cola Company and its system. I hope you have just listened to the comrades from Indonesia and the Philippines and heard about their common struggle against the human rights violations at Coca-Cola Amatil in Indonesia and the Coca-Cola Company in the Philippines. I will now describe this fight of trade unions and IUF affiliates that represent Coca-Cola workers in Haiti, Ireland, and the USA. In Haiti, workers established their workplace union, Stibracor, in March 2017 at the Coca-Cola bottler owned by La Couronne company. Since then, they have been struggling to exercise trade union rights that are guaranteed by international standards and are even claimed by Coca-Cola to be a part of their workplace rights policy. The Coca-Cola bottler in Haiti has consistently sought to deny its workers access to those rights. 4 of the union leadership has been dismissed, and the company responded by telling the union that they should simply elect new leaders. The bottler refuses to recognize the Burcu and refuses any serious dialogue to resolve any issues around rights violations and poor working conditions, including working under the pandemic conditions. In contrast, the IUF has an affiliated trade union in Heineken in Haiti, Stibrana, which is recognized by Heineken. At Heineken, responses to COVID-19 involved the union, and measures taken there as a result are generally decent. Coca-Cola bottler La Couronne's refusal to discuss with the union measures to respond to the crisis leaves workers there inadequately protected. The IUF has repeatedly brought these violations to the attention of the Coca-Cola Company. However, the company has done little to ensure that its bottler is brought into compliance with international human rights standards and with the Coca-Cola Company's own workplace rights policy. It is time for the Coca-Cola Company to act to ensure that these ongoing human rights violations are remedied by restoring the rights of dismissed union leaders and workers, reinstating them, and recognizing and negotiating with Stibracor in Haiti. In Ireland, the Coca-Cola Company closed 2 of its directly owned concentrate plants, both of which were strongly unionized and shifted production to the remaining plant in Ballina, where it refuses to engage in collective bargaining with the IUF affiliated SIPTU. By sending a clear message throughout the plant that workers risk personal setbacks if they join and promote SIPTU, the Coca-Cola company management tries to intimidate and harass workers seeking to exercise their fundamental rights. In Ireland, this is not a butler. This is the company itself, and the IUF expected immediate remedial action from Atlanta and clear instructions to local management about their absolute obligation to respect the rights of those workers, including an instruction that they are to do nothing to impede workers' access to their union and bargaining rights. This has simply not happened. In the USA, the company's butler spent more than $330,000 hiring a union-busting consultant firm to persuade workers at its bottling plant in Greenfield, Massachusetts, to not join the IUF-affiliated RWDSU and UFCW. This expensive consultancy firm, hired by the Coca-Cola bottling company of Northern New England, publicly states that it represented management at employee meetings with the objective of persuading employees at the Coca-Cola bottling company of Northern New England in Greenfield, Massachusetts, to remain union-free. We demand that in the future, the bottler refrains from using firms. In the USA, these firms are known as persuaders that conduct union avoidance and union busting activities. The IUF continues to demand that the Coca-Cola company address these rights violations and act in line with its responsibility for what goes on inside the Coca-Cola system. The IUF's and its member organizations' actions and efforts to support the trade unions fighting in Haiti, Indonesia, Ireland, the Philippines, and the USA will continue until these rights violations in the Coca-Cola system are remedied and the rights of independent and democratic unions are respected. I invite you to visit the IUF's dedicated website, www.tastezerorights.org, to learn what you can do and how you can support this fight. Thanks for listening to me.